Hello, everybody. Hi. Hello. Welcome to my prediction videos for Mexico versus Russia and New Zealand versus Portugal. The final match days for Group A. So by tomorrow, we will know the identities of the two teams going through and in what order the group will finish. God willing. Here I want to give my scoreline predictions for these games. I'm just gonna say flat out, I don't see Russia beating Mexico, which is what they need. You look at the standings in Group A, Russia almost certainly need the full 3 points tomorrow against Mexico. The only other way they can advance is with a tie, and if New Zealand beat Portugal, in which case both Russia and Mexico would advance and Portugal would be eliminated. But we all know how very, very unlikely it is for New Zealand to pull off a shock against the European champions. So it's looking to be almost certainly the case that Russia will need a win. And I just don't think they can do it. I don't think they can. Well, let me say, I don't think they will. I mean, as far as can goes, I've seen crazier things happen in this sport. But as I said in a couple of previous videos, this Russian side just don't match up well against Mexico. Two very different styles of play. I thought Russia had a chance to get a result against Portugal just because Portugal is notorious for starting off tournaments, gradually growing into them. They don't tend to eviscerate opponents of lesser quality. They usually tend to win by narrow margins. Throughout that game, even in the second half, I thought Russia came close on several occasions to grab an equalizer. They didn't. I think that game against Portugal, that loss, not getting anything out of it, will prove to be the straw that broke the camel's back here, because I don't see Osorio experimenting the same way that he did against New Zealand. If he does, I will personally call him. I have his number. I will personally call him and tell him to cut that shit out. But it's not going to happen because there's more riding on this game. Mexico knows they need to get something out of it to go through. They only need a draw, and I can see Osorio making 2 or 3 changes here, but he won't go with a similar lineup he did with New Zealand, which almost cost them that match, by the way. I should stress yet again. I do think we're going to see Javier Chicharito Hernandez come back into this. I think he's going to score in this game. Now, normally in my prediction videos, I don't predict who scores because I think it's kind of pointless, because it's almost impossible to give a specific prediction of who will score in what game. I usually only give score lines, like numbers, but I think he's going to score. We could see it, maybe Raul Jimenez get one on the sheet as well. Russia, first of all, what Russia has to do is they have to start off right off the bat with another forward that can help Dmitry Smolov up front, because they are sorely lacking creativity in the final third. And I think that's been most of their the cause of their woes in this tournament. You take away the own goal New Zealand had in the opening game, Russia's only scored 1 goal. Coming into this match, Mexico has scored 4 goals in the first 2 games. Russia has scored 1. Technically, on paper, it's 2, but you take away the own goal. That should tell you all that you need to know about these two sides and how they differ in quality. And especially the case if Russia goes behind early, they're finished. They're finished. Mexico scores first, Russia's done. Russia is done because they're not coming from behind. They're not grabbing 2 afterwards, unless Mexico all of a sudden just collapses, which I don't see happening. And I really think Mexico is not the type of team that will approach this game comfortable with the draw. I think they're going to be seeking all 3 points. They entered their last game of the 2014 World Cup against Croatia, only needing a draw to advance. They pummeled them, and they won 3-1. They hammered Croatia with 3 goals inside 15 minutes in the second half. And Croatia got a consolation towards the end, but Mexico advanced level with Brazil on 7 points each. They could have won that group too, arguably. So I'm very tempted to go with Mexico winning this because They are the superior team by a substantial margin. And they don't even need a win from this. So they have a built-in advantage on top of that. So I just don't see Russia coming through this. I really don't. You know, the host nation, you know, there's some kind of a momentum behind them, but there's also a lot of pressure as well. And it turns out 4 points is not going to be enough. I said this before the tournament started. It could be the case that a win, a tie, and a loss may not be enough. And lo and behold, they need 6 points. They need 2 out of 3 wins to get through. I'm very, very tempted to go with a 2-1 Mexico win here. Out of respect for Russia and the magnitude of the occasion and the pressure they have, I'll say a draw. I think it'll be... I really, really want to say 2-1 to Mexico, but I'm going to go with a 1-1 here. If Russia scores first, that'll really make it interesting. And that'll mean that Mexico will have conceded first in all 3 of their group games, because they have conceded first in the 2 previous games against Portugal and New Zealand. But, you know, I think I'm going to go with a draw. 1-1. Javier Chicharito Hernandez will score. And I think that Russia will show a little more firepower up front. I do think that Stanislav Cherchesov will make the necessary changes in that final third. I think someone other than Dmitry Smolov will score. I don't know who, but someone other than him will score. I'm going with 1-1. And then for New Zealand, Portugal, you really would like to see New Zealand get something out of this tournament to come out with, you know, at least a point. But they really, really, really squandered their opportunity against Mexico in that last game with Chris Wood making all those saves. They could have won that match, taking advantage of Osorio's incompetence in that game. But I just don't see it happening. But likewise, I also don't see Portugal running over them either, 5-6-0, because we know Portugal doesn't do that. They don't steamroll their opponents. I can honestly see Portugal winning this anywhere between 1-0 and 3-0 at the most. 3-0 at most. If they get more than 3 goals in this match, that'll be very un-Portugal-like, in my opinion. New Zealand's playing for pride. They're already eliminated. So they don't have anything to lose. And there's a certain danger to playing a team that doesn't have anything to lose. But I mean, Portugal just should be too much for them. I know Fernando Santos was saying that he's thinking of resting up Cristiano for this match. I agree with that. I mean, yeah, I think that's a smart move because you don't need Cristiano to beat New Zealand. So scoreline, I think I'm going to go with 3-0 here. Yeah, I'm going to go with 3-0. I think Bernardo Silva will score. Maybe Adrian Silva or Gelson or Sejic will get on the score sheet again, as they did earlier. Well, Gelson did not get on the score sheet, excuse me, but he almost did in that match against Mexico. I think we're going to see some of their other players step up and get the 3 points. So my predictions are Portugal will beat New Zealand. This group will finish with Portugal on top with 7 points. Mexico in second with 5. Russia with 4. And New Zealand with 0. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the games. Have a good night. And yeah, peace out.